Breaking news! Good news! Pangulong Bongbong Marcos, viral matapos isiwalat ngayong araw. Yes mga kababayan, as in ngayong araw, ang much-awaited good news para sa lahat ng Pilipino. Paano ba naman kasi mga kababayan? Nakatanggap lang naman ang Pilipinas ng 6.352 trillion pesos na National Expenditure Program sa taong 2025, kung saan iniulat ng Department of Budget and Management na makakatanggap ang Department of Labor and Employment ng 984.2 million pesos para sa Youth Employability Program sa ilalim ng fiscal year 2025. Sa ikatlong State of the Nation address ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos, binanggit ng Pangulo ang sama-samang pagsisikap sa iba't ibang ahensya upang palakasin ang potensyal at kakayahang magtrabaho ng mga kabataang Pilipino sa bansa. Iniulat din ng Department of Budget and Management na tumaas ng 8% ang budget ng Office of the Vice President para sa taong 2025. Bagamat hindi humiling ng Confidential and Intelligence Fund ang Office of the Vice President para sa taong 2025, sinabi ng Department of Budget and Management na ang 188.5 million pesos ng Office of the Vice President ay ilalaan para sa mga personal services. Samantalang ang 1.79 billion pesos naman ay para sa maintenance and other operating expenses at 56 million pesos naman para sa capital outlay. Hindi lang yan mga kababayan dahil magpapatuloy din ang gobyerno sa pagsasagawa ng mga interbensyon sa budget sa susunod na taon upang matulungan ang pagpigil sa epekto ng inflation. Ayon sa Department of Budget and Management, naglaan ang gobyerno ng kabuuang 253.3 billion pesos para sa mga cash assistance, kung saan ang 205.5 billion pesos ay inilaan ng gobyerno para sa Department of Social Welfare and Development. Ito ay ang gagamitin para sa Pantawid Pamilya Pilipino Program or 4Ps na may 114 billion pesos. Sa social pension naman ay naglaan ng gobyerno ng 49.8 billion pesos. Sa mga serbisyong proteksyon, naglaan ang gobyerno ng 35.1 billion pesos. Samantalang 4.4 billion naman para sa Sustainable Livelihood Program ng TESDA at may kabuuang 1.8 billion pesos naman para sa Walang Gutom Food Stamp Program ng DSWD. Sinabi din ng Department of Budget and Management na nagkaroon ng pagtaas ng budget allocation para sa social pension dahil sa Republic Act No. 11982 o ang Amendments to the Centenarian Act. Pinapalawak nito ang patakaran ng mga centenarian law at magbibigay ng mga benepisyo sa mga octogenarians at nonagenarians. Sinabi din ng Budget and Management na ang mga pamilyang nagtapos ng 4Ps ay binibigyan ng seed capital sa ilalim ng SLP ng Department of Social Welfare and Development. Ang DOH naman, particular ang Medical Assistance for Indigent Program ay tumanggap din ng pondo ng 26 billion pesos para tustusan ang mga gastusing medikal na natamo ng mga mahirap na pasyente. Patuloy ding ilalabas ng DOH ang kanilang Cancer Assistance Fund sa susunod na taon sa pamamagitan ng 1.25 billion pesos na alokasyon. Ang Cancer Assistance Fund ay naglalayon na umakma sa mga umiiral na mekanismo ng suportang pinansyal para sa mga pasyente ng cancer, mga taong may cancer at mga nakaligtas sa sakit na cancer. Ang tulong pangkabuhayan sa ating disadvantaged displaced worker ng Department of Labor and Employment ay inilaan ang 14.1 billion pesos na pondo. Para naman sa sektor ng transportasyon, nakakuha ang Department of Transportation ng 2.5 billion pesos para sa fuel subsidy program nito. Magpapatupad din ang Department of Agriculture ng fuel assistance na nagkakahalaga naman ng 100 million pesos para sa mga magsasaka at mangingisda.
Magandang umaga mga Kanyang press corps and welcome sa ating press briefing ngayong araw, August the 1st. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. received the National Expenditure Program for fiscal year 2025 presented by the Department of Budget and Management yesterday. President Marcos mentioned in his recent State of the Nation address that this proposed government budget was created with utmost care, diligence, and meticulous attention. The 2025 NEP amounting to 6.352 trillion pesos is a 10.1% increase from this year's 5.758 trillion budget. It aims to prioritize food security, social protection, housing, infrastructure, healthcare, disaster resilience, digital connectivity, and energization. It also aligns with the key priorities of the Philippine Development Plan for 2023 to 2028, focusing on three pillars. These are developing and protecting the capabilities of individuals and families, transforming production sectors to generate more quality jobs and competitive products, and lastly, creating an enabling environment. The President also said in his SONA, we look to the cooperation of our colleagues in the legislature, not only that our proposed national budget will be approved in your usual timely manner, but it will be adhered to as closely as possible. And to get an overview of the proposed budget, we ask you to please watch this video.
The Philippines, a frontrunner and key player among Asia's emerging economies, outpacing Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, and China in the first quarter of 2024. We remain on track with our agenda for prosperity, with the International Monetary Fund forecasting growth at 6% for 2024. Building on our gains, we strive to fulfill the needs and aspirations of the Filipino people. Equivalent to 22.1% of GDP, the proposed national budget for fiscal year 2025 is 6.352 trillion pesos. Meticulously crafted and anchored on the Philippine Development Plan 2023 to 2028, the budget aims to develop and protect the capabilities of individuals and families, transform production sectors to generate more quality jobs and produce competitive products, foster an enabling environment that will promote macroeconomic stability and improve public services. To reduce the medical expenses of the poor, we will allocate 74.4 billion pesos to subsidize the health insurance premiums of indirect contributors under PhilHealth. We will provide medical assistance to millions of financially incapacitated patients and construct more accessible health facilities, including the Bagong Urgent Care and Ambulatory Service or BUCAS centers. We are investing heavily in education with 977.6 billion pesos or 15.4% of the proposed budget. We have built almost 3,000 classrooms in 2023 and will construct 6,000 more in 2025 with 29.3 billion pesos for the Basic Education Facilities Program. We will bridge the digital divide through more than 18,000 e-classroom packages and almost 100 million textbooks and other instructional materials for all public schools. For our teachers, the Kabalikat sa Pagtuturo Act will double the teaching allowance from 5,000 pesos to 10,000 pesos. And for our students, the Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Program, which will provide scholarships to millions, will receive 53.1 billion pesos.
Isa ang CHED sa mga nagdaan upang makapagtapos po ako ng pag-aaral. I was so blessed dahil sa CHED, my father did not have to think about my tuition and facilities fees.
To reduce the vulnerabilities of our people, we are transforming the country's social protection system. The Pambansang Pabahay para sa Pilipino program will provide decent and affordable housing with 1.8 billion pesos, while the implementation of the Centenarian Act will be expanded with 3 billion pesos to provide cash benefits to senior citizens above 80 years old.
Whatever current data proudly bannering our country as among the best performing in Asia means nothing to a Filipino who is confronted by the price of rice at 45 to 65 pesos per kilo.
The Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program will receive a higher allocation of 114.2 billion pesos for education and health grants and rice subsidies to no less than 4.4 million households.
Nung dumating po ang Pantawid sa amin, malaking tulong po, nakakabili na po ako ng gamit ng mga anak ko sa school, lalong-lalo na po yung gamot po ng anak ko. Ang rice po malaking bagay din po sa Tagalog at saka sa katutubo.
We will provide additional grants for pregnant and lactating mothers to ensure the health and nutrition of children for their first 1,000 days. We will also give cash-based assistance through the food stamp program. To strengthen food security and address inflation, we are boosting local production with an increased allocation of 31.4 billion pesos for the National Rice Program. And we will construct an additional 1,541 kilometers of farm-to-market roads and introduce solar-powered fertigation systems to boost high-value crop farming. To generate not only decent but competitive jobs, we will harmonize our livelihood and employment programs with 36.8 billion pesos. We will intensify our technical and vocational education and training through TESDA with 18.7 billion pesos.
Maraming salamat po talaga sa TESDA. Sana po lahat po ng mga nag-aalangan na hanapin yung gusto nilang gawin sa buhay, meron pong TESDA na kaagapay ninyo.
The Tulong Panghanap Buhay sa Ating Disadvantaged Workers or TUPAD program provided jobs to over 3 million displaced workers in 2023 and will continue to support millions more in 2025.
Nagpapasalamat kami dako nga naapil man dianing programa sa Doli Tupad. Kay dako ug kayo ni nga nakatabang sa among pangadlaw-adlaw nga panginabuhi.
We will create even more jobs through the MSME Development Program, the Shared Service Facilities Project, and Negosyo Centers. And to further revitalize industries, we will continue to implement the Green Lane for strategic investments. To drive innovation, we will increase the allocation for research and development to 23.2 billion pesos. We have also launched our Malikhaing Pinoy program and will continue to support our creative industries. To sustain the momentum of the tourism industry, we will promote the Philippine Experience Program and local food tourism. The halal food industry will also get a boost of 286.4%. To combat graft and corruption, we are allocating 70.6 billion pesos to rapidly digitalize our bureaucracy. This covers the advancement of our public financial management program with 575 million pesos, while 3.1 billion pesos will be invested to digitalize revenue collection.
With our online registration update system or yung ORIS na tinatawag natin, napapadali nito ang pag-update at pag-transact sa BIR at the comforts of the taxpayers' home.
To further improve bureaucratic efficiency, we allotted 70 billion pesos for the increase in salaries and 9.6 billion pesos for additional healthcare benefits of government employees. To ensure transparent, digitalized, and reliable midterm elections, 15 billion pesos will be allocated for automated national and local election activities, including the additional honoraria of poll watchers. The Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections will also be supported with 11.6 billion pesos. To secure the country's territorial integrity, we will strengthen our land, air, and naval forces defense programs with a revised AFP modernization program budget increasing to 50 billion pesos to address recent developments in the West Philippine Sea. To further propel economic growth, we have allocated 5.7% of GDP or 1.51 trillion pesos for the Build Better More infrastructure program. We will build better and build more with 900 billion pesos allocated for the Department of Public Works and Highways. Meanwhile, the budget of the Department of Transportation will increase to 180.9 billion pesos to support the completion of central railway systems, subways and busways, maritime, and other public transport projects. And we will continue to build world-class air transportation systems through the Aviation Infrastructure Program.
As of May this year, 12,000 kilometers worth of roads and more than 1,200 bridges have been built and upgraded across the country.
To accelerate climate action, our climate change expenditures more than doubled to 1 trillion pesos. We have harmonized government efforts to improve every Filipino's access to clean and potable water with 309.7 billion pesos. To accelerate access to water supply and sanitation services of lagging municipalities, 1 billion pesos is allotted to the Support and Assistance Fund to Participatory Budgeting. This covers the construction of climate-smart evacuation centers. The Green 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 program, which will support local government units in building open spaces and infrastructure for active mobility, will receive 1 billion pesos. And to enhance disaster resilience, we will provide 417.9 billion pesos for the government's Risk Resiliency Program. The Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao will be supported with 94.4 billion pesos. To strengthen fiscal decentralization, LGUs will receive a share of 1 trillion pesos from the national tax allotment, higher by 18.7%. Indeed, we are ushering in a new era where local governments are the shining beacons of sustainable and inclusive development.
We look to the cooperation of our colleagues in the legislature, not only that our proposed national budget be approved in your usual timely manner, but it be adhered to as closely as possible.
Our proposed national budget reflects our unwavering commitment to promoting the sound, efficient, and effective management and utilization of government resources. Sa pamamagitan ng budget na ito, ipagpapatuloy po natin ang ating nasimulan upang lalo pa nating maialay ang ating taus-pusong serbisyo sa ating mga kababayan sa ilalim ng bagong Pilipinas. Pagsikapan natin na paigtingin at palaguin palalo ang ating ekonomiya upang ating mabigyang daan ang kaunlaran at ang mga pangarap ng ating mga kababayan.